We do.
Awesome. So much fun. I feel like whenever I jump on my mom's live, or my sister jumps on with my mom, or vice versa, then I feel like there's just like a different energy when you have two people on there versus you just up
Oh
there.
yeah,
So
we play off each other. We make jokes. We have fun.
so fun. Good job, Bill. Good for you guys. Everybody joining us over on Facebook, I'm looking over. Just please throw some love in the chat over there in the comments, and let us know any wins that you guys have had. I'm looking at our chat right now. Regina saying, I offer the opportunity, who said not right now. Regina, what do you mean by that? Can you tell me a little bit more?
I asked her, I asked her a question about whether or not, she could do it. And she said, not right now, because I'm in school 5 days a week. She's in universities 5 days a week. She's going for nursing school. And then she has 2 teenage daughters that she says she's having to watch. But
Full
she's
schedule.
also, and she's working. And then she
Okay.
has a 4-year-old.
Okay.
So she said she just couldn't handle it right now because she's in class from 6 in the morning for clinical, 6 to 2:30, twice, 2 days out of the week. And then the rest of the time they're in class from 8 to 3. So she really don't have the time to put to it, she said. But she told me that when she graduates, and she's gonna be finished with the classes in 9 weeks. So she told me to check back.
Gotcha. So there's at least a follow-up date, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great way to practice that 4-part. If you were on with our 4-part, is listen to her and relate. And if there's anything, because sometimes I was talking to, I think it was Tori just recently. So Tori and I were talking through a scenario with a person that's very busy as well. And we were talking through the 4-part, which the 4-part is listen, relate, tell stories, and if I would you. And sometimes we want to go to the part where like, oh, they're too busy, like this isn't for them, like, okay, I'll talk to you later. Whereas sometimes if we just keep asking questions and talking to them, and we build a relationship where they feel heard and where they're at, if they're not ready for it right now, maybe somebody that they know might be ready. So even just adding value and adding a connection and letting them like build a bond. I mean, there's plenty of times that I've been recommended, or I've recommended other things just because, hey, I'm not in the spot to do it, but I know some other people might. And because I have a bond with this person, I'm willing to recommend these other people to them, right? So there is a power in, even though someone might say no, we all know at least 100 people, at least. So if they're not ready, okay, hey, maybe you know somebody, but build that bond first. Because if it's just a stranger, you go up to a stranger and say, hey, do you know anybody that wants to sell this business? It's like, I don't even know who you are, right? But as a friend, yeah, I'm more willing to talk to my friends about it with you.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
This was a past co-worker.
Okay.
So she told me to just get back with her in nine weeks, and she's inviting me to her pinning ceremony. So
Gotcha.
that'll be the end of the 9 weeks.
Awesome. Even in that time, if there's something that you've learned from this that could help her, whether it's like, if there's a social media or like a mindset thing, like if there's a video that pops up that we might watch or talk about, just like, hey, what was her name, Regina?
Andrea.
Let's just say, hey, Andrea, I just thought about this. I think this would be super helpful for you. It was a really cool mindset video that I watched, and I just thought of you, so I just wanted to send it to you.
Okay.
And it's totally just something that you can keep adding value and build that relationship, and really do it and not expect anything in return. Just give in love because you want to give love. And I feel like eventually things come back to us just because we give, So anyways, thank you for talking to us and telling us about that, Regina. Seeing some people over on Facebook, Tiana, June, Natty, Josh, Charmaine, thank you so much for joining us. We've got a cool day ahead of us. We're talking about the perfect presentation tool, and Eric already kind of talks through this. So we're going to actually talk through it. But anybody else on here on Zoom have one more little win for us? Josetta, Jeanette, Zanetta, any fun, any cool wins you'd like to share with us?
I started working on sending out the messages, our assignment yesterday, the 24 hours. So I sent out a message asking, telling them that I have a goal that I need 750 pieces by the end of June the 30th to be life of the party goal. And I have a new online store where they help me out or either refer it to someone else. So I've been getting several orders from that.
Awesome. Awesome. Good win. Good win. Thanks, Josetta. Jeanette, Zanetta, any wins?
So, yeah, yesterday totally inspired me like your mom. Robin was like this. So I went and got, sat down and got myself comfortable, and kids were all gone. And I totally focused on what I want to do is build my Premier app and brand that. And so I went and created MailChimp for an email, and I'm going to do, we talked about it, I think yesterday or day before. I'm going to do weekly updates on my schedules, things that are coming out, life at the party, da, da, da. But there's a cool little shop now button. I've got it attached straight to my Premier app.
Awesome.
I don't know. I got 10 new subscribers, so I'm super excited, and, got lots of inventory, need to move. I'm buying every day, but I got to get this other inventory out too. And that's what I want to focus on. So hopefully it's going to work.
Awesome. Awesome, Jeanette. Well, in any business, I've learned a bunch about different businesses, and just that list, they say building a list is a very, very important thing. So whether it's an email list or text list for your customers, and if they're customers, they're just buying from you, it could be a way that you could throw in every now and then a little bit of a hook about joining the business. But at least you have people to go after, right?
Definitely. Whenever we do the promotions each month with paparazzi, if they have an incentive, whatever it is each month, that's going to be in the newsletter or, as well to keep them informed. And, maybe like a little story or whatever,
Right.
Yeah. It'll be
Great
personable, but it'll be for the business as well.
Great idea. Great
So,
idea. Awesome, Jeanette.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We're going to excuse my mom and my sister today. They're pretty busy. My dad's going in for a little procedure today, and so my mom's with him. And then my sister has craziness with the family, 5 kids. There's a lot going on, and it's summer. So I'm sure if you guys have kids, you understand. So it's a little crazy today. But today, I kind of alluded to this before. We're talking about the perfect presentation tool. So we've talked about the 24-hour, this kind of 24-hour blitz and kind of push. Something he talked about is do everything that you can to schedule like this recruiting event. Okay. So he said in these 24 hours, do whatever you can to have like a recruiting event in the sense of like a Zoom. And we're going to kind of talk through, if you guys, will you throw in the chat over on Facebook and in Zoom here, throw a 3 if you guys have been on our customer appreciation night. Have you guys ever been on that yet? Will you throw a 3 or just like throw your hand up or throw a 3? Actually, throw a 3 over on Facebook as well. Okay. So some of you guys have seen this. I've seen Bill, Karen. I know some of the people have been able to see that. So what we're going to be doing is kind of a little something similar to that. Okay. So I'm going to talk you through it. Okay. So something he talked through was the perfect presentation. Okay. And he talked through this and how we could set this recruiting event up. In this sense. So what you want to go do is first of all, promote this and talk to a lot of people in order to get you to this event. Okay. And this is something that he said to do on your own. Be the initiator here. Okay. Don't wait for our next customer appreciation night. Do this yourself. Okay. So he said, pick a name for this event. He said a couple cool names is like the greatest side hustle of 2023, how to make money over the summer. Make some sort of cool name for this. Okay. And try and make this event really cool so that you can go out and talk to your customers about it, friends and family, any followers that you have, go talk to people about this event and start creating this event for you. Okay. So pick a date, he said, pick a name for it. And he said, get some help. So he said, whether you have corporate come and help you. I mean, I don't have a ton of experience with corporate coming to help us, which is totally fine. but he said, use that as an idea, maybe some successful people in your company, maybe some leaders, some other paparazzi sisters. And so the reason I said, if you've been to one of our customer appreciation nights, is it's a little similar to that. We used to do this way back in the day. Recently, we're just kind of telling stories and doing a drawing. So it's a little different, but this one, we're actually going through the actual presentation. So we're actually going through, if you guys have seen our 5-element story, that's what he laid out. So honestly, a part of the homework today is 1, create this event and set it up. And then 2, I'm going to give you my own homework. I want you to go see ours that we've done, and then you can kind of see what it looks like. Okay. So he goes through what a perfect presentation. He's just like, hey, this is what I would do if I were you guys. Okay. So he's like, you'd start the Zoom, and you get a couple different people for each one of these parts. And you're gonna start out, welcome everybody there, tell your story. Whenever you tell your story, it's a very powerful tool to build an emotional connection. I don't know if you've ever watched someone's story that you've never known before, and they have vulnerability in there and they show something compelling and I can relate to them. I don't even know them and I can feel like I can go up and give them a hug. Okay. I have an emotional connection already. And that's the power of our story. Okay. So tell your story, tell you where you're coming from, and then you want to set up the 5-part presentation. Okay. And so he's like, whenever you're looking into any type of company, you should look at the 5 things in a company. And something he says is, normally if you find 3 of them, it's still a great company. It's a great company you want to go for. But if you find all 5, it's a great company. You definitely want to go about it. Okay. You want to go for it. And so of these 5 things, we're going to have 5 different people that's going to be talking through these with you. Okay. So the first one is the product. Okay. And let's say I'm going to invite Bill to talk about the product. Okay. And Bill is going to be talking about why there's an actual need for jewelry out in the market. Okay. We did research and we've talked about it before, that there's, I think by this year or next year, there's like a 23 billion or something crazy in the jewelry market. So like, there's obviously people that's like, women are going to continue buying jewelry. Like people are going to continue buying jewelry. Okay. And even from the dawn of time, women and us all have worn jewelry. So it's just like, there will continue to be a need for it, right? Does the product meet the need or solve the problem? Yes, our product solves that, because guess what? We have affordable jewelry that's high quality. Is it priced to sell? Is it priced for profit? So Bill will go through and talk through each one of these. The second one is company. Go through and talk about the company. So a different person will talk about the company. Whether you have a good company or not, whether you have bad leadership or good leadership. If you have bad leadership, you can have an amazing company, but by having a bad leadership, it can run it into the ground. But if you have a struggling company and you have good leadership, it will help. You can get through anything. Okay. The third one is the comp plan. How can we with part-time effort make some money? Well, what about full-time effort? Well, what if I go all out? What kind of money could I be making with this? And you can kind of even share the income disclosure that Paparazzi's put out there. Okay. 4, support. What is all the support that Paparazzi gives here? I mean, they do all the trends. Can you imagine having to like research all the different trends that are coming out, figuring out how to style all the jewelry, take all the pictures with the models, figure all that out? That's a lot of work that we don't have to do. So by them doing it for us, they're helping us out a ton. They have support. If there's something broken, we can return it. So there's support. They give us incentive trips. They give us training. There's convention. There's a ton of great things that they do. And then 5 is timing. Why is this the best time to join Paparazzi? And each one of those is a different person talking through it. So I would highly recommend, I'm going to see if I can find it as we're kind of talking through this. But as I'm going to find this, actually, Tanya, did you watch it today by chance? Is there anything else that I'm missing, or can you add anything while I'm looking up this video for us?
Yes, he did revisit the fact that in the last 24 hours, did we reach out to our frog, is what I'll call them? Did you reach out to that super person that you were definitely afraid of? So he followed up with that portion. And yes, he explained that this Zoom might be terrifying for a lot of us. Don't worry. Perfect is never, there's no such thing. Do it messy, do it sloppy, do it with inaccuracies, just do it. So that was the life of the training for me. Like Robbie said, what he talked about today and the 5 elements to your Zoom, we talked about, and you'll be able to see it from the Frank Divas page, but it should be in some previous notes as well. But revisit some of those. Go back to some of the replays you found back here. Go back to some of your fellow 90-day recruit runners right here on this platform. Pull them into your Zoom. I've already done that. If you haven't gotten an inbox from me, hold on. Because I am pulling them from my Instagram interviews, and I am pulling them for my Zoom presentations. All right. So it's like Eric told us, it's a matter of preparing and planning and just shooting for the stars. It will work, and make sure you document.
Love it. Tanya, you're so awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take messy action. I love that. I love that. I just posted it in the Zoom chat and over on Facebook, this video where we've done this opportunity presentation. So if you want to see it, I mean, we've practiced that a bunch of times. Karen mentioned in the chat that it gets so much easier the more you do it. I know Connie's actually on here. I'm not seeing her face, but I know Connie's done part of that. The more you practice it, the more you get used to it. But guess what? You never know. You can't get good at something until you practice it. So just take messy action. And if you want to just get on there and you don't want to follow these 5 steps, do the best that you can. Say, hey, let's tell some stories. Let's do a little FAQ. What can we do to kind of help you out? Okay. And just like talk to your people, engage with them. What questions do you have?
Another suggestion I have, Robbie, and I actually started with this. My team and I, we've been doing presentations for probably a year and a half now, consistently once a week. And now the challenge was perfect for me because I've been dragging my feet on presenting my very own personal. So that is my challenge. I would recommend that you go to YouTube and you Google some presentations. Christy Waller, I follow her. She's great. She has a presentation that I've used. I was just on Andrea's the other day. She has a great presentation that's about 30 minutes. And that's the focus, to keep it about 20, 30 minutes, 45 minutes maybe with Q&A. Always leave room for Q&A. And another thing, when you get back there in that Zoom team, make sure you're making notes for those people who are on your Zoom. Because once you shut down that Zoom and it's not recorded, you can't recapture those visitors. So bring your pen and paper, jot down the names that you see, because that is your follow-up after the Zoom. So go and search and get some creative ideas by watching a few videos back there is my suggestion.
Great idea. Seriously, awesome idea. And so if you don't follow the 5 parts, follow something else. Okay. Follow something else and figure it out. At least do it. Okay. Take messy action. And another thing that Tanya said is a great idea is follow up with these people. Okay. Follow up with them. The power in follow up is crazy. So like if someone comes back and says, not right now, or I don't have the money, or I just don't have any time for this. Oh, that's one of those MLM pyramid things. It's like anything that they come back at us is fuel for us to talk to them and use that 4-part series of listen to them. Okay. Listen to them, relate, tell stories. If I was you, okay. Anything that they come back with. Okay. You want to relate with them. It's one of those pyramid things. Oh yeah. Sounds like you have a story. Tell me like what's going on. You have a little experience with some of this, some of this pyramid stuff. Tell me do you have experience? Have you done this before? They'll tell you, they open up. Oh yeah. Well, my family's done that before and they didn't make any money. It was a big scam. Okay, well, tell me what happened. Can you tell me a little bit more? Get them to talk to you, figure it out. Oh, it was this, they give all the money and like no one was helping them out to like figure this out. Oh, so you're saying that they signed up and just like they didn't have good leadership. Oh, I see. Yeah, that would be totally frustrating. I could totally see why that would be frustrating. You relate to them and then their guard comes down and then you can actually talk to them. Okay, talk to them. I'm seeing Karen, get a couple Papa sisters together to go live together. Absolutely. I love that idea. It's so much more powerful when what does the Bible say? Out of the mouths of 2 or 3 witnesses, you shall know my word. It's so powerful when you have more people on there talking about it instead of just one person talking about it. Okay. So I'm going to open it up for any questions. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any ideas? Any other extra feedback that they'd like to add into this? Yeah.
Can we share that over our Zoom, share it over to Facebook like you do? Do we just hit the share button while we're doing our Zoom?
You can.
That's at the
So,
bottom?
so realize there's pros and cons to streaming things over to Zoom, to Facebook. Okay. Pros would be you would probably get more people on, or maybe more eyes if like people that didn't join you on the Zoom will join you on Facebook. The only con to Facebook is there's not the same level of interaction and engagement. Okay. So there's people over here. I'm seeing there's some people over here on live. I can see their comments. So there's a little bit of engagement, but I can't see their face. Right. So there's it's just a different level of connection. So it's up to you. I would try it out. Okay. So sometimes it's nice to kind of get at least more eyes on it. And then if they're commenting, this is why we try and do it. And a lot of people do it, try and get engagement. That way, if people are commenting on Zoom, you can go back and follow up with those people. That's why like at the beginning of a Zoom, hey, where's everybody coming in from? Get a little bit of engagement, warming them up a little bit. Hey, can anybody relate to this? Throw a 5 in the comments. Okay. You're getting engagement with the people rather than if you're just sitting there, it's just kind of like it can lull a little bit. Okay. So you want to kind
Right.
of give interaction.
Okay, so could we share it afterwards then and say who wants to come to our next Zoom? You know, throw a high five or whatever if you want to be invited to the next Zoom.
Yeah, my only caution to this is, and try this out, okay? My only caution is if you invite somebody and they always know there's a next one, there's not a lot of urgency to go, okay? So sometimes it's nice not to tell them there's a next one. Like, hey, I don't know if there's going to be a next one, because maybe there's not.
Okay.
Right? But sometimes like we intentionally on the customer appreciation group, like becoming what's our group? Becoming a paparazzi consultant Q&A group. We try not to put all the events in there. We just put one event at a time. That way we can give a little bit of urgency. You know,
Gotcha.
you got to get on this one. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah. I'll
Perfect.
get as many people as I can on the Zoom and then we'll go from there.
Yep. And then just
All
when
right.
you're doing another one, just try and come up with a different name or come up with a little bit of a different variety so you can still promote it that way, you know?
Okay.
Be
Yeah,
the same
thank
event,
you.
but it sounds different. Cool. Yep,
Yeah.
You're welcome. Thanks, Jeanette. Tanya, I'm seeing a comment. Can you elaborate and talk to me a little bit through that? Are you there?
Yeah, Justine just said, have them raise their hand if they're interested in coming to the next one. The real question is, if you see profit in this, do you see a way to make money? Let's get you signed up today. Any interest, our goal is to sign them up immediately.
Mm.
Yeah, so the real question is, are you ready to sign up today? Let's see your hand.
What's the power of that, Tanya? Can you talk us through it?
I surely can, because weekly it's the same Zoom. If someone invited you to this platform, make sure you connect with them. And this is what I learned that era. People were interested, but after the Zoom was shut down, it wasn't under my Zoom. I couldn't go back and see those comments in the chat. So that taught me to screenshot my chat and just pay attention to the Zoom on who's interested or who's asking the questions or who's giving that feedback, that communication, so I can reach out to them in the next 24 hours. That is vital. Yeah, so it's the follow-up. Who's ready to sign up today? Soon as the Zoom call is over, I'm on the phone with them. Hey, you got a second? Let me run some numbers by you. I don't have time. Well, let me set you up for tomorrow. What about 2 tomorrow? What about 4 tomorrow? Immediate. I don't want that fire, that flame from the presentation to die down. Yeah, so if they're on fire in the meeting, let's get you signed up immediately. They're going to come with all these excuses. I'm moving. I got to go to the bank, the school, and dates. Well, if I call you tomorrow at 2, you think you'll be prepared? You need this, this, and this, and we can get you signed up. That's the urgency.
Yep.
My eyes and my open.
No, I love that. I mean, like if they're a hot prospect, you can kind of use that terminology, hot prospect, where they're very interested right now. You don't want to let that go too long because that will dim very quickly. So I love what Tanya said. If it's not today, what time? Schedule it. If it's not scheduled, it doesn't happen, you guys. So take advantage of that time. And oh man, what was I just going to say? take advantage of it, be very intentional with them. And even, oh, that was what I was gonna say. Just say, if they're busy, hey, it's only gonna take 10 or 15 minutes. Let's make this easy for you. Okay, it's not gonna be an hour. I respect your time. Let's get on a call and talk through this. Okay. So thank you guys so much. I'm realizing the time. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, Tanya, for helping me out on this one, and everybody else that join in and talk through. Have any questions, throw it in. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and love your life, you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.